WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Scott Martin. If you drive in Columbus, you probably know that the 18th Avenue and Military Road exits on Highway 82 are famous for traffic tie-ups. Today, the Mississippi Department of Transportation held a public hearing unveiling new plans for these problem areas. Our Quentin Smith was at that hearing. He now joins us live in the studio with more. Quentin.
Scott, many drivers say driving along those two routes can be stressful and nerve-wracking. In fact, some drivers try to avoid those routes altogether. People tell me they're excited for these changes and they couldn't have come any sooner.
I live in between the two of them, yeah, so I'm driving them all the time.
Longtime residents like Lori Pierce admits driving along interchanges Highway 82 and North 18th Avenue and Highway 82 and Military Road can be stressful.
I have sort of figured out my way to drive them. For instance, the 18th Avenue exit, I never turn left on. I will only come off and go right unless it's absolutely no other way around turning left. I will get off at a different exit because it's usually congested.
If I were driving those routes every day, I would say they need to be changed immediately.
Thankfully for drivers, changes are on the way to the busy intersections. On Thursday, the Mississippi Department of Transportation showed drivers its proposed changes. At the intersection of Highway 82 and North 18th Avenue, a dual off-ramp will be added, making the roadways wider.
The outermost right lane, you would get in that lane and then you could go all the way down to the, I guess that's, where all your doctor offices, hospitals are, or if you want to continue on to 45, then you would want to get in the innermost right lane, and then that'll take you right on out to US 45.
And two roundabouts will be added at the on and off points at the intersection of Highway 82 and Military Road.
The Military Road exit off of 82, cars often stop instead of continuing to move, and I think the roundabout will encourage more traffic flow rather than getting people stopped up at that exit.
Pierce says she's excited about the changes and believes they'll help improve the traffic flow in both areas.
Well, there'll be some adjustments because roundabouts are new for a lot of people to drive on. We don't have a lot of them in Mississippi, but they do work well. And so I think once everybody gets used to them, they'll be fine and we'll appreciate having them.
And MDOT is hoping for construction to begin on both projects within the next year. Scott, back to you.
All right, thanks, Quentin. The Mississippi Department of Education says student achievement is on the rise. MDE released the scores from the 2016-2017 Mississippi Academic Assessment Program. It tracks third graders through high schoolers' performance in English and math. Overall, state test results show a 2.3% rise in reading, while math scores went up over 5%. Scores on the benchmark third grade reading test went up from 87% to 92%. Aberdeen, Choctaw County, Houston, Webster, and Union counties were among the highest performing districts. Lee County and West Point were also near the top with 95% pass rates. In the Golden Triangle, the Lowndes County School District had a 93.8% pass rate. Starkville came in at 91.6%. The Columbus Municipal School District had the lowest out of the three with an 81.1% pass rate. Turning to weather now, time to get a first look at our forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson. Hey, Keith.
Hey, Scott, some clouds and some sunshine around the area today. Also some showers and thunder showers. Fast-moving clouds earlier today, then some slow-moving cirrus here this evening. And right now, fairly quiet across our region. We did see a few rainbows. You can see one of these right here from Baldwin earlier this evening with one of those passing showers and storms, but all quiet right now. Just some ground clutter showing on up. Tomorrow for our Friday, we are back into the low 90s. Can't rule out a stray shower storm, but not a lot of moisture. The full weekend forecast is coming up.
For the first time, we're getting Officer Tyler Cook's account on the officer-involved shooting back in 2016 that resulted in the death of Antoine Shumpert. Shumpert's family filed a wrongful death lawsuit against the city and Officer Tyler Cook. Cook has filed a motion for summary judgment describing in detail for the first time on what happened. Court documents state that claims filed against Officer Cook should be dismissed, stating that no facts proved Cook's actions were wrong. The police report from that night states Cook released his canine, commanding him to bite Shumpert. Shumpert fought the dog and then got into a scuffle with Cook. Cook states that during the struggle, he was hit in the face and head so hard he began seeing stars and started to black out. Well, that's when he drew his weapon, shooting Shumpert 3 to 4 times, according to that deposition. Cook's lawyer is asking that the claims against Cook be dismissed. A Lee County Justice Court judge is being suspended 6 months and fined $3,000. Thursday, the Mississippi Supreme Court upheld the commission for a judicial performance claim of judicial misconduct against Judge John Sheffield. Sheffield ordered a DUI suspect to the work center for 6 months for failure to pay fines from an earlier case, despite the man's claims that the fine had been paid. The misconduct comes because Sheffield had all of the documents showing the case was clear in his files, but didn't look at them. The suspect in the case spent 4 months in the work center due to Sheffield's improper ruling. It's every prison's worst nightmare, a jailbreak. The Tishomingo County Jail is making major improvements to avoid that. WCBI Selena Schaefer speaks with the jail administrator on all the security that's been added.
Any jail period, you're gonna have security problems because you're dealing with inmates.
That's why jail administrator Jason Blakeney is trying to make it nearly impossible for his inmates to break out.
Added another perimeter fence on the outside, added more razor wire around the whole facility. I have also had alarms put on all the doors since then, and we've covered all of that, and we've made it just about as secure as you possibly can.
They've even added additional cells.
Total, we can hold 128 now.
Cameras, fences, and steel plating have cost the county an awful lot. In turn, the jail has started taking in inmates from other counties.
Sometimes we'll hold 10 to 15 for Etowamba, and sometimes we'll hold 4 to 5 for Prentiss, 2 to 3 for Boonville.
And at $20 per inmate, it surely adds up. Sheriff John Daugherty is proud of the work Blakeney has done since taking over the position.
With it being able to hold additional prisoners, it offsets some of the costs to the taxpayers for building of the new jail, and it helps our budget situation greatly.
Which in turn has allowed the county to hire more detention officers.
It helps to be able to hire more staff to do what we need to do and to maintain a safe facility, a secure facility. Final vision for the jail, just to be as secure and safe as we can possibly make it for not just us, but for the county and for the citizens here.
In Tishomingo County, Selena Schaefer, WCBI News.
Blakeney says they'll be installing steel cages to the outside doors of the facility on Monday.
Low 90s for the weekend, Saturday and Sunday. Not too active on Saturday. Maybe a better chance for a few scattered storms Sunday. Your full forecast is next. Here's our off insurance time lapse from Columbus today. Fast moving clouds, a little bit of rain right there, and then we are rewarded with a very nice and colorful sunset. Hopefully you saw that, not just in Columbus, but in a good chunk of North Mississippi and West Alabama. Now tomorrow, your Friday TGIF, we start out at 8 o'clock, 77 degrees. There could be a little bit of rain around in the morning. Odds of rain in the afternoon, fairly low. The odds should be dropping as we go through time. Upper 80s to low 90s are forecast during tomorrow afternoon. And tomorrow evening, a full slate of Friday Night Football, the first week of the year. Hard to believe. And look at this great weather here. I don't think we'll have any problems whatsoever. 87 at kickoff time, and then by 9:30 or 10 o'clock into the mid to upper 70s. So great weather, fairly light wind. This evening we have one stray shower left just to the northwest of Belden, right there, western and northwestern Lee County. That's it. The only blip on our radar here in North Mississippi. The batch of rain we had earlier now shifting north of Decatur, Alabama. Now I can't rule out an isolated shower storm going forward through the night into tomorrow with this front that will be coming on through, but this thing's moisture starved. It doesn't look like we'll see a lot, but as long as that feature's out there, there's still the opportunity for a little bit of rain tonight, tomorrow morning, and after noon and thereafter we should see some fairly benign conditions. Now there may be another little disturbance just to our west on Saturday. We'll be watching out for an isolated shower storm Saturday. I think the better chances will be back to the west. Look at this great sunset tonight from Enid Lake. Wow, another great sunset across North Mississippi, and some vibrant color reported by Sheridan Fulton. This picture, as she says, not really capturing what she saw, but we have seen some nice color over the last couple of evenings around here. Lower rain chances for the next 2 days. A typical summer weather pattern overall. Highs in the low 90s, lows in the 70s. The eclipse viewing is on track for Monday. At this point, I envision some puffy cumulus clouds. 20 to 30% chance for a passing shower or storm. So that means we will likely see peaks of sun, and our peak dimming here about 1:30, 85 to 95% totality here in the WCBI coverage area. That would be Monday afternoon. This weekend, highs in the low 90s, and next week, highs in the low 90s, lows mainly in the 70s. Scott?
The end zone starts tomorrow, but high school football kicks off tonight. Robbie has a first night action later in sports. Allergy sufferers are always looking for ways to deal with allergies. There's actually steps you can take, from changes in your home to your behavior. We learned some ways to better manage fall allergies in tonight's Health Talk with Baptist.
How can you protect yourself against fall allergies? Hi, I'm Dr. Justin Garner, and I'm part of the otolaryngology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. If you have fall allergies, there are some steps you can take to manage your symptoms. Stay inside with the doors and windows closed when pollen is at its peak, and keep a close check on pollen counts in your area. Before you turn your heat on for the first time, clean your heating vents and change the filter. Bits of mold and other allergens can get trapped in the vents over the summer and will fill the air as soon as you start the heating unit. Other steps you can take include: use a HEPA filter in your heating system to remove pollen, mold, and other particles from the air. Use a dehumidifier if you need to keep your air between 35% and 50% humidity. Wear a mask when you rake leaves so you don't breathe in mold spores. Remove pollen from your skin and hair by showering frequently. Dry your clothes inside in the dryer instead of hanging clothes outside. Have decaying leaves removed from your yard and gutters. If your symptoms of sneezing, runny nose, or itchy and watery eyes get worse in the fall, you probably have an outdoor fall allergy. 80% of people with seasonal allergies complain about these symptoms, as well as problems with sleeping, being tired, having poor concentration, and decreased productivity at school or work. But the good news is treatment's available. Having your allergies properly identified and treated will help you and your family enjoy the season. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Coming up, we recap the first night of high school football around our viewing area. Highlights from our 5 area matchups next in sports.
Welcome to football. The 2017 high school football season is here. We completed our 60 schools in 60 days marathon earlier this evening with Starkville. Now it's time to settle this all in the field. We start with our Thursday night showcase. Your defending 5A state champs from West Point taking on the visiting Columbus Falcons. And the third play of the game, this is not a bad way to start the season if you are the defending champs from West Point. Chris Calvert, see you later. 68 yards for the touchdown. Greenies take a 7-0 lead, and they were just getting warmed up. After a botched punt by Columbus, here comes Marcus Murphy. My friend Bud Bowen calls him the magic man. Didn't need too much magic there. He dives for the pylon. He's got it. 15-yard touchdown, 14-0 lead for West Point. And then after that, the Green Wave would just start showing off. Watch Murphy here. How do you defend that? I'm not sure. Samaj Harris, there he goes. Big fella, all the way for 6. It's 21-0 West Point. Chris Calvert would have 3 first-half touchdowns. West Point gets the win, 42-14. This is a Columbus team that's very young, will take some time to develop, But for right now, West Point showing off that they are, for my money, the best team in the state. To the 6A Powerhouse Showdown, South Panola visiting Clinton. Ricky Woods returning to USP. And who needs Cam Akers? Walker Birchfield, 1-yard touchdown for the Arrows. 7-0 lead for Clinton, but USP would hit right back. Patrick Shegog going to hit John Rayleigh. Busted play here. So what? Touchdown. Tigers trail 7-6. They could not get an extra point or a 2-point conversion to save their life. But Judd Boswell's team is really good. People underselling them even without Cam Akers, Darius Mayberry, Cam White. These guys are good. 14-6 lead on that touchdown pass from Hunter Halsey. Then Shegog airing it out again. What South Panola team is this? We're used to them running the football. It's Barry Flowers on a 37-yard touchdown. Clinton trying to get some answers on the monitors on defense. Apparently they didn't get in here. One more time. Through the air. Shegog to John Rayleigh. 65-yard touchdown. South Panola wins a thriller 24-23 over Clinton. Back to our area teams. Louisville, the Wildcats facing Holmes County Central, and a pretty good start here for Louisville. Purvis Frazier getting the pitch around the left side, and he's making all sorts of men miss. Gets a first down, and later Wildcats inside the 20 here. You're going to see a rollout pass here. A pass picked off by Rodravius Harris. So Holmes County Central is going to take over on that play, but Justin Smith here for the Jaguars, back to pass. You're going the wrong way, son. Safety, Eric Suddiff. Andreas Glenn would get the safety on that sack. 2-0 lead for Louisville. Later on, Wildcats still have that 2-0 lead. Dante Yarbrough going to find Ladarius Luckett. And in a foot race, very nearly got to the end zone. Gets brought down inside that red zone. Louisville knocking on the door here. Preston Knowles would fumble on this play, but Preston would have many more touchdowns, so he'd make up for that fumble. Louisville pitches the shutout, wins at Holmes County Central tonight, 24-0. To Nanawoya. We got a little thunder and lightning happening in this one as the Warriors taking on Hatley. First quarter, Chris Smith from his own 35. Why do you punt to this kid? Why would you do that? He's breaking tackles, and he's staying in bounds, and the Lightning strikes on a 65-yard touchdown, that punt return. 7-0 lead for Nanawoya, and more Lightning. Look at this. It's like Hatley can't tackle him, and he just keeps going. Look at that stiff arm. First down to the 40. Tamias Glass would finish it off, so you had a little thunder with your Lightning. Touchdown run there for Tamias. 14-0 lead for Nanawoya after one. Hatley wouldn't get on the board in the second half. They get an interception right here, but it was all Warriors as Nanawoya gets the win 49-6. And to South Pontotoc, the Cougars honoring Ty Rayford with his number and a ribbon painted on the field this evening. Vardaman visiting South Pontotoc for the season opener, and the Cougars strike first. Cole Brown to Brett Riley. Get used to those two hooking up this year. 45-yard touchdown. South Pontotoc takes a 14-0 lead. Second quarter, here comes the Rams, and here comes the horns from Micah Williams. Watch this run. Boom! Get out of my way, son. Into the end zone for a 15-yard touchdown. Rams make it a 14-6 game, but it was all Cougars after that. And the guy that you got to try to stop if you're the defense playing South Pontotoc, Eddie Ivey. Couldn't do it there. 27-yard touchdown. South Pontotoc goes up 21-6, and they would add one more touchdown after that. Cole Brown to Brett Riley. They hooked up 3 times for scores tonight. And Brett, that dude's 6'6" and tight end. How do you stop that? That's another score. South Pontotoc goes on to get the win, 42-14 over Vardaman. There's your Thursday night games, some fun ones. We'll break down those once again, show you highlights of the end zone coming up tomorrow night, 10:06 p.m. right here on WCBI. We will be on at 11 p.m. on the CW. We will have 20-plus game highlights for you. And we always have our scoreboard running. It's WCBI.com/endzone. We'll post all our videos from the night tomorrow night as well. And we have our game of the week, our Carl Hogan Toyota game of the week coming up tomorrow, Starkville at Noxubee. And if you missed our final high school football tour preview of Starkville, it's online right now on our website at WCBI.com. So strap in, football season's here. We will have all sorts of fun coming up tomorrow with the official kickoff of Week 1 in 2017 high school football. That's it for sports. We'll get a last look at your forecast when we come back.
All right, we have an eclipse coming up on Monday. We will be doing a half-hour special at 1 o'clock during the midst of the eclipse on CW4. So tune on in. If you can't check it out in person, you need one of those protective glasses or something something like that to keep you from looking at it. Anyway, long story short, warm and humid.
All right, thanks, Keith. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.